All right, hey everybody, we're back with another news feed. So we're going to cover three different topics, almost four today, and we're going to dive right into them quick. Remember, I post videos every single day, at least one, sometimes two, just depends on the mood I'm in. Starting us off, Daily Dot. I get a lot of information from these because I like them. They're quirky, they're kind of different little things and little pieces of information that I like. This one here, I 100%, I believe 100% driver accuses auto manufacturers of designing car parts to fail when the warranty expires. It was an interesting read. It's going to be here for you, but we're going to highlight a few things that were pretty interesting. Okay, it says right here, cars have been part of conversations about planned obsolescence. Basically, when they die out, planned obsolescence, whatever that stupid word is. In the early days, remember, I suck at words, I suck at grammar, I suck at spelling. It just is what it is. But they say, in fact, many historians trace the origins of the concept back to General Motors. Around 1920, cars had reached a saturation level in the American market, and the vehicles were built of high enough quality that drivers were not replacing them with any regularity. To encourage sales, GM started to number their cars by the year, encouraging a certain dissatisfaction with post or past models compared with a new one among drivers. To quote a GM president, Alfred Salon, says right here, since then, planned obsolescence, whatever the stupid word is, has been a major topic of discussion in the automotive industry, especially at a time when people want to use and consume less. So basically, what they're saying is GM started putting model or doing them by model year. So like a 20 like right now, a 2023 model, a 2024 model, 2025 model. They started doing that back in the 1920s because car sales were dropping because people weren't getting rid of them. There was no push for something new. And they're saying that now. This guy says right here in a video with over 70,000 views as of Saturday. This TikToker, Josh Bearden Josh, claims he knows someone who works for a major auto manufacturer designing parts that he knows will break. Okay. Again, we don't know if this is just it's entertainment here we're reading for, but that first part was interesting that we just covered. His job is, and he gets paid very well, is to design parts to fail at the end of the warranty period, Josh states. So, for example, a lot of parts for cars used to be made with metal, and his job as an engineer is design that part with plastic pieces so that they break by the time the warranty period ends, whatever it is, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Josh continued in his almost sure continues that he's almost sure most automakers have a similar position. I'm pretty confident they go through conversations with him that this is an actual position in a majority of auto manufacturers to design parts to fail at the end of the warranty period so that they can actually make money off of you then, he says. Is it true? They go on to tell you there's little evidence to suggest automakers have a person whose job it is to make parts break after warranty, blah, blah, blah. They dive into all this stuff that's kind of irrelevant. You can read it here, but it is interesting. And it's, like I said, this has been going on, this talk. There's a lot of people that feel this is true. You might be one of them. I could be one of them. I'm not sure. But we see this stuff on a lot of them. Look at the cars today and how certain pieces are made out of plastic that are, they're not critical, but they're very important, and you see that stuff constantly. And who knows if there's anything behind this? Remember in the old days, in the 80s and stuff, when companies would buy things like the ceramic brake pads or whatever they were, or ceramic engines and shelf them, and all these theories that we heard. Who knows what kind of truth there is to this stuff? I don't know whether to believe it or not, but it's interesting. Moving on from there, but the article is here. If you want to read it, go to the Daily Dot, type in any of these keywords, it will pop right up for you. Again, I'm trying to go fast. Now the key one that we pulled up right from the beginning. Toyota customer claims dealer installed a GPS tracker on his car. Okay. Car dealers do some interesting things from trying to charge you bucks, blah, 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 blah. One man discovered a new reason to distrust dealerships after he found a GPS tracker hidden in his new Toyota. Thieves are using GPS trackers to steal your car. And then he said in here, he didn't think much. Basically, I found it was a battery died. He didn't think much of it until the battery died after about 3 weeks of not driving the car on a brand new ride. That just doesn't happen. So he was naturally suspicious. Then he remembered the OBD2 port was loose on his Corolla GR after he took a delivery. At the time, he didn't think much of it. Figured someone had it and the factory just didn't clip it on properly, fixed it, and moved on. But with the battery issue and that detail about the OBD port, he decided to pull apart the lower panels of the dash while filming to document if it was in fact a tracker. And in fact, there was a tracker hidden in there. And sure enough, he found a strange device that was illuminating an LED light piggybacked onto the OBD port. It's right here. He says it's key to note that didn't opt for a GPS tracker on his car, even though the dealer asked about it. So this dealer is offering to put him on there anyway. They're like trying to sell it as an add-on for you. He didn't want it on there, so they probably had it on there already, I'm assuming, but still pretty scary stuff. It says Anthony Dew did some research after publishing the video on YouTube. He discovered that the device is an aftermarket GPS manufactured by LO. Right here, others in the comments said they have found similar devices in their vehicles, many from other brands. If true, this means that it isn't just a Toyota dealer doing this, it's more widespread. The dealer is trying to help with the potential future is this dealer, sorry, I'm trying to go fast and I'm getting lost here. Is this dealer trying to help with potential future repossession cases, installing a tracker in case cars are stolen before customers take delivery, or is it something else? We don't know. Here's a video on it. You're welcome to watch it. It's pretty interesting that they're doing this kind of stuff, though. It is interesting that they are installing GPS trackers into these cars. Whether you know about it, want it, or don't, either way, it's a scary, scary kind of time. Now, the next one we're going to cover on here, too. This is the article that grabbed my attention. It leads us to the next one. So this is interesting, but there's more to it. But it says, Chevy Silverado was, the 1500 was 16th best-selling vehicle in the world in 2023. They go on, blah, blah, blah. Well, that naturally made me wonder, well, where's the list? So I went over here and I clicked right here on report, and it popped up the list, and we have it right here. This is from Jado. And they go through, they say that the Tesla Model Y still clears the position as best-selling car in 2023. They got the data. You can go through and read this if you want to. Again, it's very easy to find. Go to this site and type in any of these keywords. But we want to, or you can, if you're already a GM Authority kind of guy, and you go on here, just click on the report part on this article. But when we go into here, they're going to show us the vehicles in a list, and that's what I want to see. Look at here, it's pretty interesting too. 2023 new light vehicle sales by segment. Look at this. Here in the United States, pickup trucks dominate. Okay, they're huge. It's a big factor. Look at worldwide. SUVs are the #1 selling thing by a huge percentage. Then cars are still huge everywhere here, but in the U.S., cars are so few and far between, and so they're not that popular here. And pickup trucks here would be shot way up high. So it's interesting to see worldwide how things are kind of laying out here for vehicle sales and how they are. So they go on to tell you more about what groups are doing what. Here is the top 25 best-selling vehicles globally. This is globally. Now, these are per every 100,000 units, okay? So when we look at this, we can go through the list, okay? Obviously, there's a lot of Toyotas in here. Toyota's #1 worldwide. But look, number 7 is the F-150 with 623, well, let me highlight it, but 623,000 F-150s being sold worldwide. 623,000 in 1 year. That's pretty good. And then we go down here looking at trucks on here. We go through, blah, 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 cars. I don't care much about cars. Silverado comes in at 16th at 412,000. 18, just 2 steps down, is a Ram 1500. Remember, everybody's like, oh, Ram doesn't sell, Ram's not. Well, apparently it's selling pretty good because it's at 374,000. Realistically, look at the difference between there and there. You're really only like 36, what is that, 35, 36,000 difference between the Silverado and a Ram. But you can see those are the only trucks that made the list is the Ram 1500, the Silverado 1500, and the F-150 as far as American-made trucks. Now, we do have the Hilux, but look at this. Interestingly enough, worldwide, the F-150 outsold the Hilux, which is kind of interesting. So there's some interesting takeaways here for it. You can read this stuff if you want to. Like I said, pull it up, check it out. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more for you soon. Thanks.